I'll write this as a scroll for the collective with a clear warning about misuse, and I'll ground the core claims with receipts, plus URLs so it stays sharp, not just dramatic. Scroll of the Borrowed Light. How the collective is misusing Lucifer Knowledge Wisdom Collective. Come closer. This one is not about panic. This is about discernment. Because too many people hear the word Lucifer and start moving like they found a secret crown, when all they really found was a symbol they don't understand. And humans do this every time. They grab a torch and immediately set the curtains on fire. The first misuse, confusing light with wisdom. Just because something feels hidden, forbidden, or edgy does not make it true. A lot of people misuse this knowledge by treating Lightbringer as permission to disrespect everything, reject all accountability, worship intellect without character, perform rebellion instead of practicing wisdom light. That is not illumination. That is ego in costume. Real wisdom does not just reveal secrets, it reveals consequences. The second misuse, using symbolism as an excuse for pride. The old warning inside the Lucifer story, however someone interprets it, is not knowledge is bad. It is this. Knowledge without humility becomes self-destruction. People misuse this current when they say, I know more than everyone. Rules are for sheep. Compassion is weakness. I'm chosen so I can treat people however I want. That is not mastery. That is spiritual inflation. You can memorize every symbol, every sigil, every coded phrase, and still be a fool if your heart is ruled by vanity. The third misuse, mistaking rebellion for liberation. Some rebellion is holy. Let's tell the truth. Rebelling against lies, abuse, manipulation, and false authority can be righteous. But many people misuse Lucifer-related ideas by rebelling against discipline, truth-checking, ethics, community responsibility, self-control. That is not freedom. That is just another chain, painted black and sold as enlightenment. If your awakening makes you cruel, reckless, addicted to superiority, or obsessed with domination, you are not ascending. You are spiraling with better vocabulary. The fourth misuse, chasing hidden knowledge while ignoring inner work. Collective, this is the trap. People want the secret names, the hidden texts, the forbidden symbolism, the cosmic drama. But they do not want to do the boring sacred work, healing their wounds, telling the truth, breaking manipulation patterns, learning emotional discipline, becoming trustworthy. So they become performers of darkness, not students of wisdom. They can talk for 6 hours about light and shadow, but still lie, gossip, exploit, seduce, and sabotage. That is not gnosis. That is branding. The fifth misuse, weaponizing the idea of knowledge against the vulnerable. This one matters most. Some people use spiritual language, hidden knowledge talk, or I know what you don't know energy to control others, to recruit, to intimidate, to isolate, to make people dependent. That is abuse wearing a mystical robe. True wisdom does not demand your mind. It sharpens it. True wisdom does not make you smaller. It makes you harder to manipulate. True wisdom does not fear questions. It welcomes them. So what is the right use of this kind of knowledge? If you study this topic at all, study it like a grown soul. Learn the history of the word, separate symbol from propaganda, separate metaphor from practice, separate curiosity from devotion. Test everything by fruit. Does it produce truth, integrity, clarity, compassion, discipline? If it makes you more honest, more grounded, more discerning, more self-controlled, more difficult to deceive, then you are using knowledge wisely. If it makes you arrogant, theatrical, manipulative, and addicted to power fantasies, then the light you found is just glare. Message to the collective: do not fear words, study them. Do not worship symbols, decode them. Do not follow charisma, test character. The real danger was never knowledge. The danger is ego holding knowledge without wisdom. That is how people misuse the torch, and that is how civilizations burn. Protect your mind, sharpen your discernment. Walk with truth and discipline. That is how you carry light without becoming consumed by it. Receipts with URLs: Encyclopedia Britannica, Lucifer, explains Lucifer in classical mythology as the morning star Venus and notes later Christian association with Satan. URL/www.britannica.com/topic Lucifer classical mythology, Merriam-Webster, Lucifer, shows the dual historical usage in English, the devil and also the planet Venus when appearing as the morning star, with etymology notes tied to Latin usage. URL / chain dot merriam-webster.com/dictionaries Lucifer, New Advent, Catholic Encyclopedia, Lucifer. Notes the original denotation of Lucifer as Venus and broader Vulgate usage for light of morning language. URL hatis www.newadvent.org/cathan/09418.htm. Jet's article, Lucifer, Who or What? Robert L. Alden, PDF. Discusses interpretive issues around Isaiah the 14th and the Hebrew phrase often translated in relation to Lucifer. URL /etsjets.org/WP content uploads 2030/5 file score jets PDF sc 1111-1 bet sc 11-135-39 alden.pdf. They borrowed the language of light, but skipped the work of wisdom. This scroll exposes how ego misuses hidden knowledge, turns symbols into status, and mistakes rebellion for truth. Study deeply, collective, but test everything by fruit. A torch in the wrong hand is not enlightenment, it is wildfire. Knowledge without humility becomes confusion with confidence.
Channeled by your architect musician, 36110, 27 palms of eyes. The golden whisperer, sea star, Devalan, see all. Apply the news you can use, truth and accuracy. The real non-bedazzled jewels.
You don't even have to say nothing, I already know. I know.
Scroll of the True Torch. How to study forbidden symbols without losing your soul. Collective, here we go. You asked for the next scroll. So now we step into the room everybody thinks they're ready for, right before they start calling every random shape on the internet a portal. This scroll is about how to study dangerous, distorted, or forbidden symbols without becoming distorted yourself. Because symbols are tools, and tools in foolish hands become weapons. First law of the torch. Curiosity is not devotion. You can study something without bowing to it. Read that twice. A lot of people get trapped because they think there are only two options. Fear it blindly, worship it blindly. No, there is a third path. Observe, learn, discern, leave with your mind intact. You can study a symbol the same way a healer studies poison, not to drink it, to understand it. 2. Name the thing before the thing names you. Before you study any symbol, ask, where did this come from? Who used it first? How did the meaning change over time? Who benefits from the modern version of this meaning? Because half the forbidden knowledge on display today is misquoted, decontextualized, rebranded, monetized, used to manipulate lonely people. Same old trick, new incense. If you do not define what you are looking at, someone else will define it for you and sell you confusion as initiation. 3. Separate symbol, story, and system. This is where many people get spiritually scammed. They see one symbol and assume the symbol, the myth, the religion, the ritual system, the internet aesthetic are all the same thing. They are not. A symbol can exist in ancient art, later religion, modern occultism, pop culture, conspiracy content, fashion branding, and the meaning may be completely different in each setting. So slow down. A symbol in a museum is not the same as a symbol in a manipulator's hand. Test by fruit, not by vibes. The collective needs this one carved in stone. Stop judging teachings only by how intense they sound, how hidden they seem, how dramatic the messenger is, how many coded words get used. Test by fruit. Does this study make you more truthful, more disciplined, less gullible, more compassionate, harder to manipulate, more responsible with power? Or does it make you paranoid, arrogant, addicted to secrecy, obsessed with superiority, detached from reality, easy prey for charismatic frauds? That answer tells you what spirit is feeding the teaching, whatever name people put on it. V. Keep your inner house clean while studying dark archives. You cannot handle heavy material if your foundation is cracked. People want to study the deep things while sleep-deprived, emotionally shattered, isolated, addicted, full of unresolved rage, hungry to feel special. That is when symbols stop being subjects and start becoming mirrors for your wounds. So before deep study, keep your basics tight. Rest, food, prayer, meditation, journaling, trusted people, reality checks, boundaries. Boring? Maybe. Also the difference between insight and breakdown. Never surrender your questions. Any path that punishes honest questions is not a wisdom path. It is a control system. If someone says, don't question this, you're not initiated enough to ask, If you doubt you're cursed, only I can interpret this for you, back away. That is not guardianship, that is ownership. True teachers can handle examination. Truth survives pressure. The 7. Learn the ancient context, not just the modern costume. A lot of modern confusion happens because people study symbols through memes, clips, aesthetics, rage bait videos, somebody's download after no sleep, and 2 energy drinks. Go to the older layers when possible. Language roots, historical setting, archaeological use, original literary context, comparative scholarship. You do not need to become an academic robot, but you do need enough grounding to know when somebody is remixing fantasy and calling it fact. 8. Keep sovereignty without becoming cynical. Here's the balance. Do not be naive, but do not become so suspicious that you poison your own sight. Some symbols do carry deep truth. Some myths do preserve wisdom. Some traditions do encode real human insight about power, pride, suffering, healing, and consciousness. Your job is not to panic or worship. Your job is to discern. Wisdom is not believe everything. Wisdom is not reject everything. Wisdom is learning how to hold a torch without burning down your own temple. The true torch code for the collective. When studying forbidden or charged symbols, remember, I do not bow to what I study. I do not mock what I do not understand. I test meanings by truth and fruit. I keep my mind, my ethics, and my soul intact. I leave every study more clear, not more controlled. That is how you walk through the archive and come out wiser. Not louder, not darker, not more theatrical, wiser. Closing word to the collective: study deeply. Question bravely. Stay clean in your motives. Stay sharp in your mind. Stay humble in what you claim to know. The torch was never the problem. The hand holding it decides whether it becomes a lamp or a fire. Receipts. This scroll is a wisdom and discernment teaching, not a historical claim-heavy scroll. So there aren't direct factual claims requiring source receipts in the same way. When we do history-specific scrolls, I'll keep giving you source names plus URLs like you asked.
Until next time, your C-Star Curacy, channeled by 3611027, the Beautiful Whisperer. Our C-Star Devalan CO. Apply the news you can use.
To our beautiful collective, from our day ones to every new soul joining this journey, we love and appreciate you deeply. You've turned this space into so much more than a community. You've made it a family. Thank you, truly. Your presence, your energy, and even the smallest acts of kindness have the power to shift the compass for many in ways unseen but deeply felt. Here's to each of you, all new and the many more to come. We're just getting started, and we're so grateful you're here with us. With love and infinite appreciation from the collective of Shaman All.